Okay, so I'm gonna start here. All right. So what's up, guys? I got the stream live, and I'm also recording on a second camera, so I'm gonna be going back and forth between the two. Uh, I'm actually, when I talk, I'll probably be looking at my actual camera, so forgive me for that. But today I will be editing a wedding. So today I will be editing a wedding video from a couple weeks ago from a couple, and I'll be talking about what my process is and what the deliverables are. When I do wedding edits, the deliverables are all the raw footage and an edited version of maybe like a 10-minute edited version of the day condensed with the dances and all that stuff fully through. One of the things with wedding clients is a lot of the times people just want something. Depending on the type of client you have, they just want something. It really doesn't matter what the quality is, they just want to see something. So to satisfy that want and craving that the customer has or that the client has, I always send them a raw video of just the footage. Some clients want this, some clients don't, but a lot of the times they just appreciate it. That way they have something in their hands to work on. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and import the footage. The most important thing when doing a project like this is project management and making sure everything gets saved to the right spot. So we're going to name this Chris and Leslie wedding. It's going to be the project name. We're going to save it to, I have a project folder in here created specifically for it. New projects, weddings, Chris and Leslie right here. So this is the folder I have for Chris and Leslie in my MacBook. The way I edit it is I'll create a folder with their name, and then I'll create separate folders for the footage based on the two cameras I'll use, and then I will create, is there anything in this folder? So then I'll create an audio folder for the songs that we use in the video, and then I'll create a graphics folder for any graphics that we may use. We probably won't use any graphics, but I always like to create it just in case. And then we're gonna have the project saved in the Chris and Leslie folder along with this stuff. So we're gonna hit save, choose, boom. This is where our project is. All right, now we're ready. Create. First step when you're editing something, you're gonna want to create a sequence. Make this big, boom. New item. Sequence. I always use the DSLR 24 frames a second. Even though I do shoot in 60, I'm gonna put on the 24 frames per second timeline. That way when I slow the footage down, it makes a nice buttery slow motion. So a sequence, I'll call it Chris and Leslie, and here we go. So the first thing I'll do is import all the footage. Boom. Go to my folders, export, import those. Boom. Leslie A7S3 footage. Now, one thing that I will say when you're editing a wedding is try your best to keep everything, if you're shooting on two cameras, try to keep everything unilateral. That way there's not like clips from this here, clips from that there, and everything on the cards kind of matches. That way you're not having to go back and puzzle things together. So I'm gonna come and first of all, I'm gonna make sure everything is in order and organize them by name. They are. I'm gonna drop this footage on the timeline. Boom. This is our A7 IV footage. And then I'm gonna drop our A7 III footage on the timeline. Boom. So the first thing I like to do when doing these types of videos is to just line up the footage and make sure everything is in order. Let me turn this down because I don't want to hear the music while I'm scrubbing back and forth. So let's see. First, we're just gonna I like to find the ceremony. That way I could just build it around that. Those are the biggest parts to sync, and typically from there you could just find where everything else is. So I'm gonna take this. Ooh. Let's click that. That way our audio and our video synced. We're gonna move these over here. We're gonna make us some space. And so usually the ceremony is the biggest clip. And that's what this is right here. So I'm gonna take this, put it forward. Ooh. So we're gonna take these two parts, And then since these two clips from the A7 III are about the same size as the A7S III, we are going to take these two, sync the footage together, sync it, audio. By syncing the audio, we're going to be able to line it up, and then it'll automatically adjust on its own, or I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to take these two, and then I'm going to sync these two together, and I should have like a raw version of the ceremony. So boom, sync it. Alright, these clips don't match, so let's see what the issue is. This is why it's not syncing. There's too much different audio in the clip. So when I shot this, I had one camera stationary on the front, and then I was moving with the gimbal cam. But the reason they will not sync is because when I moved with the gimbal, I went to another portion of the venue. So I'm gonna go there. This was the bride Leslie walking down the stairs, so we're gonna cut that out, and we're gonna try to sync the audio with what we have right there, because the audio from the gimbal should have got some of the audio from inside the room. Oh, still not working. So let's try to problem solve this. And I need to figure out why the sync is not working for this portion of the wedding. So I'm gonna turn up the volume. So I might actually have to just chop the beginning and find a small part where it syncs. So I'm gonna just come in where Chris walks in, boom, cut that out, and then let's see, Chris is walking in right here. So theoretically this music should be the same between these two clips. So I'm gonna take these, sync them, and see if we could work with something, because syncing the clips is the most important part. Still okay. So we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way and just try to find it by listening to the audio. So let's see what that is. No matter how. So we're gonna say no matter how, matter how. So we're gonna look for no matter long how it takes. We're gonna literally just use that. There it's coming up. Matter how long it takes. 2, 3, 4. Pause. So no matter long that it takes. 2, 3, 4. And that's where I'm gonna cut it. So let's see. So no matter long as it takes. 2, 3, 4. Snap. All right, so this should be it. This should be it. Let's see if we got it. So boom. This was the. All right, so this is him, the groom walking in. We're gonna put this right here. Bam. Alright, so we're closed. So now that we have this, I'm going to use these audio waves right here to essentially fix everything else. So to get our audio right, see these lines? This is where, look, so let me see. It's this one. I'll move it over one frame. Oh, hold on, let me go back here. And this is the TD. Let me see. Boom. We're gonna move it over one frame. Move it over one frame. Boom. Let's see how this works. Let's go check our audio. So boom, this is pretty close. This is pretty close. Let's check this audio. This works. This works. Let's go. We got some synced audio. All right, let's go. So boom. So now we have our ceremony synced. Let's pull the footage all the way this way. That way it matches. Let me see. Is that a gap right there? It's the sweetest thing. It's the sweetest thing. No matter what it is. Alright, perfect. So we have our audio for the ceremony lined up. We're going to drag this over. We're going to join through edits. Join through edits. Join through edits. No. That's fine. Is that two separate clips? Let's see. Let's take a look. Oh, there's a gap. Boom. So actually, I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna delete it, and I'm gonna take this top one and drag it to the end. And this should be our correct split for the ceremony. Perfect, perfect. Matter what. So let's wait for this audio to come in and see if it lines up. It's a little bit off. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a little bit off. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this top one and bump it over 1 frame, see if that works. But it might be so the audio might not fit within the 24 frames, if I'm being honest. So audio, it might not sync because it literally just can't. Alright, that works. Boom. Audio sync. We're working. Perfect. Let's go. Alright, so now we are going on to the second part of the ceremony. So right now the main thing is finished. We finished our ceremony. And so let's start looking at what other footage we have. We got some crowd footage. Got some talking footage. These are the speeches. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to scale everything to frame size. Alright, so now that we have our ceremony together, it's time to get together the rest of the video and put the clips in order. That way we can send off a first look or the raw footage video to the clients before we start editing the main video. So this is all post-ceremony footage right here of the bride and groom and the bridesmaids. This is pretty much the main clips that I'll be using to make the cinematic video. So we're going to take all these and we're going to move them over to the post-ceremony. And then we're going to, let's see, this is the main dance, the cake cutting, and more dancing. Alright, cool. This is actually going to be very, very simple. So let's run through everything that's reception. I'm going to just kind of disregard it and just put it at the end right now because reception, I really don't need that at the moment. So boom, boom. This is all dancing. This is speeches. More speeches, speeches. It's all speeches. So for the sake of time in the raw video, so we don't waste too much time on it, I'm going to put this footage directly after the ceremony because I feel like this is what the bride and groom would want to see afterwards. It's like them with the bridesmaids and the groomsmen. So these are just video clips of the post. So right here, let's see. So after this, after the bride and groom, after the post ceremony photos, I'm going to put the speeches because I feel like that's the next most important thing. I don't think it's very important to put all the roaming footage at the beginning of this right now because it is kind of secondary footage. It's not main footage. To me, main footage is like speeches, things where the bride and groom, where there's an activity happening. A lot of the times I can have like a B-roll, but I'll just use that at the end to kind of fill in stuff. But right now, the speeches are the most important part. So let's line these up. Boom. Move these over. I'm going to put them a level higher just to kind of keep everything separated. And then, boom, put this over here. Sweet. And so this is the grand entrance. These are really nice shots, and they're still in log. I haven't even had no color, so this is actually really, really good. So right here, boom. So look, I have this is the grand entrance, very important. I'm gonna keep that in. speech. You know, I'm a little crooked right here, so I'm gonna take this. Let me see, rotate. Let's just get him straight. Right there, bang. Scale it up a little bit. All right, we're good. So boom, we got our speeches. Second speech, same thing with this. Let's just kind of make sure everything is straight. Boom, scale it up. Perfect. Move it on over some more. Right here. I do not know why I couldn't. You know what? I did not have a tripod for this event. I think I used a monopod for the entire thing. So I'm kind of happy it worked out. So boom. Rotate. Get our photos in order, or get our clips in order. Boom, right here. Boom. All right, we have our, right now we have our speeches together. Now it's time to go to the, let's see what's after this. Is this all the footage? This is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, I did this one right. I didn't get too much footage. I got just what I needed to. Sometimes I'll overshoot and it's like, nah, they don't really need all that. But I will say, depending on the clients and who it is, that's why we give the raw footage, because not all things make it into the edit. And people, because they paid for something, they want their stuff. Like, they're not gonna not take it. So you got to make sure that you're kind of doing customer service. That's the main thing at the end of the day, because you don't want to have to refund nobody. Ugh. I see, boom. All right, here we go. He said mine wasn't that bad. And this is the footage for the first dance. Since the couple didn't give me any specific songs to use, I usually use the grand entrance song, the walk down the aisle song, the first dance, whatever songs they use for these dances. That's the song I'm gonna use to edit their video with. I'm not about to start picking random stuff and do all that. Just do what the customers need, and that'll typically work. So I've got the first dance song, boom. Here we go, followed by cake cutting, followed by some dancing. Perfect. More dancing, and people. It's done. This is done. This is done. The final thing we're gonna do to finish up this little raw video to send the client is we're gonna put some color on it. So we're gonna create an adjustment layer. Okay, we're gonna use the default settings. 24 frames is good. I've never had to adjust the settings on an adjustment layer. And so I use Mark Bones, Creative LUTs, YouTuber. He's like a documentary filmmaker. And so I use his LUTs to start off my edits. I typically just really use these LUTs right here. So there's the Canon Cinema and the Sony Cinema Cube. I'm not even gonna lie, I'll be using the Canon one. It's something about the way Canon be doing their colors, and it'd be looking good. So let me take this. So what this LUT does is it adds color to the raw footage. So boom, it gives our log footage color. But the only thing you have to do is just scrub through real quick to make sure you don't have any non-log footage, because if you put a LUT over non-log footage, it's gonna look boo-boo like this. See this? This looks crazy. This looks absolutely crazy. So let me see, take this, cut, boom, out. I did not use a LUT for the final part. I just used the in-camera color. I did not see a reason to use LUT at the time, or use the log at the time. And then we got some log footage at the end here, so let me just drag this over. And then finally, we're gonna export. So let's see, so we have the beginning, the ceremony, they kiss, they walk away, perfect. This is them leaving, perfect. Post photos and videos, there we go. The grand entrance again for when they come back. Some speeches. We have the cake cutting. We have the final dancing. So yeah. So to review, this is my first step of editing a wedding video, is creating this raw video just to send the client ASAP. That way they have something and they're not feeling like, oh, we don't have our stuff. Like, when people pay for stuff, they want all of their stuff. Some people do and some people don't, but more likely than not, they're gonna just want their stuff. So this is a way to tie them over and give the client their fix before the final product has been delivered. So let's go ahead and export this, set the marking in and out, in at the beginning, out at the end, file, export, media, Chris and Leslie, raw footage. So we're gonna bring it back to our Chris and Leslie folder. We're gonna save it down here. And so you know what? Instead of our GFX folder, we're gonna name this our exported video. Video folder. So we're gonna use the exported video folder, and that should do. Boom, save. Right now our video is 8 gigabytes. That's a little bit much. One of the issues with video is compressing the video. That way it's easy and accessible for the client. So we're gonna take our bit rate, we're gonna drop it super, but 6 gigabytes for an hour and 15 minutes of 4K footage, that's not bad. So let's make sure that we're exporting it to the right place again. Export, and there you go. That was how I edit the first edit, that is the raw video. In the next video, I will be making the cinematic edit with music, slow motion, and all the best clips from the day. That way the couple can have like a nice, quick, short video that they could send to people, and it's something that they could get a quick recap of the day. So thank you for watching the stream. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I hope I could do this, or I hope to do this more often as I have more time. And hopefully we could continue to grow this photography educational program. So thank you for watching, and have a good day. Peace.